First contact and furry surprises. The day Earth made first contact with alien life was nothing like the movies had predicted. There were no Independence Day-style motherships hovering over major cities, no War of the Worlds tripods emerging from the ground. Instead, it happened on a quiet Tuesday afternoon in Dr. Samantha Chen's backyard in suburban Ohio. Samantha, a brilliant xenobiologist who had long theorized about the possibility of extraterrestrial life, was in the middle of her daily ritual of playing fetch with her golden retriever, Max. As she tossed the well-worn tennis ball across the yard, a shimmering distortion appeared in the air above her prized rose bushes. "What in the world?" Samantha muttered, pushing her glasses up her nose and squinting at the anomaly. Max, ever vigilant, let out a low growl. The distortion grew larger, coalescing into a swirling vortex of iridescent light. Samantha's scientific curiosity overrode her initial fear as she took a cautious step forward. Max, however, had other ideas. With a sudden burst of protective energy, he launched himself towards the strange phenomenon, barking furiously. "Max, no!" Samantha cried, but it was too late. The golden retriever leaped straight into the vortex and vanished. Heart pounding, Samantha rushed forward without a second thought. As she crossed the threshold of the portal, she felt a brief sensation of weightlessness before tumbling onto a smooth metallic floor. Blinking away her disorientation, Samantha found herself in a vast circular chamber. The walls pulsed with soft, bioluminescent light, and strange, ethereal music seemed to emanate from everywhere and nowhere at once. But what truly caught her attention were the beings standing before her. They were undeniably alien, each about 7 feet tall, with slender, almost translucent bodies that shimmered with patterns of light. Their heads were adorned with delicate, feather-like appendages that swayed gently, as if moved by an unseen breeze. 4 arms extended from their torsos, each ending in long, graceful fingers. And there, sitting contentedly at the feet of one of the aliens, was Max, tail wagging, as if this were the most natural thing in the world. One of the aliens stepped forward, its feather-like crest pulsing with soft blue light. When it spoke, the words seemed to form directly in Samantha's mind. "Greetings, human of Earth. We are the Lumina, representatives of the Galactic Alliance. We come in peace and with great curiosity about your world." Samantha opened her mouth, closed it, then opened it again. Years of hypothetical first contact scenarios ran through her mind, but none had prepared her for this moment. Finally, she managed to croak out, "I'm Dr. Samantha Chen. It's an honor to meet you. And this is Max," she added, gesturing to her dog, who was now receiving gentle pets from one of the fascinated Lumina. The lead alien's crest flickered with what Samantha interpreted as amusement. "Your companion creature seems most agreeable. We have long observed your planet from afar, but this is our first direct interaction. We must say, your world is quite extraordinary." Samantha's scientific mind kicked into gear. Extraordinary? In what way? The Lumina's light patterns shifted to a more serious hue. "Dr. Chen, in galactic terms, your Earth is what we classify as a death world, a planet with environmental conditions so harsh that it's considered nearly uninhabitable by most sentient species." Samantha blinked in surprise. "A death world? But Earth is teeming with life." "Precisely," the Lumina replied. "And that is what makes your species and your planet's fauna so remarkable. You have not only survived, but thrived in conditions that would be lethal to most other civilizations. Your gravity, atmospheric pressure, temperature extremes, and the sheer diversity of potentially dangerous life forms are intimidating to many." As if to punctuate this point, Max chose that moment to let out a tremendous sneeze, causing several of the Lumina to recoil in alarm. "I see," Samantha said, trying to process this information. "So, what brings you to Earth now?" The lead Lumina's crest pulsed with excitement. "We come with a proposal. The Galactic Alliance is interested in establishing formal relations with Earth. As part of this process, we would like to initiate an exchange program, a group of our young scholars to study on your planet, and in return, a group of your students to visit various worlds within our alliance. Samantha's mind raced with the implications. That's incredible. But surely there would be logistical challenges. If Earth is as dangerous as you say. Indeed, the Lumina agreed. Which is why we've chosen to make first contact with you, Dr. Chen. Your expertise in xenobiology, combined with your evident rapport with Earth creatures, makes you an ideal liaison for this project. Before Samantha could respond, alarms began blaring throughout the chamber. The luminous crests flashed with urgency as they conferred among themselves in rapid, silent communication. Finally, the lead Lumina turned back to Samantha. It seems our presence has been detected by your world's authorities sooner than anticipated. We must act quickly. Dr. Chen, will you help us make peaceful contact with your leaders and facilitate this exchange? Samantha looked down at Max, who gazed back at her with trusting eyes, then up at the alien beings who had quite literally turned her world upside down in a matter of minutes. With a deep breath, she nodded. I'll do my best. The next few hours were a whirlwind of activity. Samantha found herself in video conferences with increasingly high-ranking government officials, explaining the situation and vouching for the Lumina's peaceful intentions. Max, ever the goodwill ambassador, charmed everyone he encountered, alien and human alike. As dawn broke over Ohio, a decision was reached. The Lumina would be welcomed officially, and the exchange program would move forward under Samantha's supervision. Well, Max, Samantha said, scratching her faithful companion behind the ears as they waited for the official welcoming committee to arrive, I think we're in for quite an adventure. Max's tail thumped against the ground in agreement. The days that followed were a blur of diplomatic meetings, press conferences, and frantic preparations. The world reeled from the news of first contact, but the presence of the ethereal, peaceful Lumina helped quell many fears. Samantha found herself thrust into the role of Earth's primary liaison with the Galactic Alliance. Her expertise in biology and her natural ability to bridge the gap between humans and aliens made her invaluable in these early stages of interspecies relations. 2 weeks after the initial contact, the day finally arrived for the first group of alien exchange students to begin their stay on Earth. Samantha stood nervously at the newly constructed Interstellar Welcome Center, a state-of-the-art facility designed to ease the transition for beings from vastly different environments. As the shimmering portals stabilized, 5 young Lumina stepped through, their crests flickering with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. But it was the creatures accompanying them that drew gasps from the assembled human welcoming committee. Each Lumina was accompanied by what could only be described as their pet, though these were far from anything Earthlings would consider normal animal companions. One alien was followed by a floating, jellyfish-like creature that changed colors in sync with its owner's crest. Another had a 6-legged, furry creature that looked like a cross between a cat and a ferret, its multiple eyes blinking curiously at the new surroundings. Samantha stepped forward, Max at her heel, to greet the newcomers. "Welcome to Earth," she said warmly. "We're honored to have you here." The lead Lumina student, its crest pulsing with a soft lavender light, responded telepathically. "We are grateful for this opportunity, Dr. Chen. Though I must admit, we are somewhat anxious about the conditions here." As if on cue, a gust of wind blew through the open-air facility, causing the Lumina and their pets to shudder visibly. Samantha noticed with concern that they seemed to struggle slightly under Earth's gravity. "Don't worry," she reassured them. "We've prepared special living quarters that simulate conditions closer to your home world. You'll have time to acclimate gradually." Just then, Max decided to give his own welcome. With a friendly woof, he trotted up to the alien pet's tail wagging. The reaction was immediate and unexpected. The jellyfish-like creature shot up into the air, releasing a cloud of sparkling spores in its panic. The cat-ferret hybrid hissed and puffed up to twice its size, while its Lumina companion's crest flashed in alarm. "Oh my," Samantha muttered, quickly calling Max back to her side. "I'm so sorry. I didn't realize. The lead Lumina student, recovering from the initial shock, moved forward with cautious curiosity. Is this one of the infamous Earth predators we were warned about? Samantha couldn't help but laugh. This is Max, my dog. He's a domesticated animal, a companion, like your own pets. He's harmless, I assure you. The Lumina's crest pulsed with disbelief. Harmless? But its mass, its muscles, those teeth. Surely this is a formidable creature. Well, Samantha admitted, dogs are descendants of wolves, which are predators. But humans have lived alongside dogs for thousands of years. They're loyal, friendly, and incredibly helpful. As if to demonstrate, Max sat obediently at Samantha's command, then offered his paw to the nearest Lumina. After a moment's hesitation, the alien gently took the proffered paw with one of its lower hands. Extraordinary, the Lumina murmured. To think you keep such powerful beings as companions. Samantha smiled, realizing that this cultural exchange was going to be even more interesting than she had anticipated. Just wait until you meet some of our other pets. Now, let's get you all settled in. I think we have a lot to learn from each other. As they moved towards the living quarters, Samantha's mind raced with the implications of this moment. If the aliens found dogs impressive, how would they react to horses or elephants? And what about wild animals? She glanced back at the portal, knowing that soon, a group of human students would be making the journey in the opposite direction, to worlds beyond imagination. The universe had just gotten a whole lot bigger, and humanity's place in it was about to be redefined. With Max trotting happily beside her and a group of awestruck aliens following behind, Samantha led the way into a new era of interstellar relations. The adventure, it seemed, was only just beginning. The cosmic zoo crisis. 3 months into the interstellar exchange program, Dr. Samantha Chen found herself marveling at how quickly the extraordinary had become routine. The sight of ethereal Lumina floating down the halls of the University of Ohio's newly established xenobiology department no longer turned heads. Students of various avian species had integrated into campus life, their unique pets becoming as commonplace as the squirrels that scampered across the quad. Samantha's office had become a hub of interstellar activity. Star charts and anatomical diagrams of exotic creatures adorned the walls, while a specially designed habitat in the corner housed Whisper, the jellyfish-like pet of Zix 427, one of the Lumina exchange students. As Samantha reviewed reports on the progress of Earth students on distant worlds, a frantic knocking at her door jolted her from her work. "Come in," she called, and the door burst open to reveal Zix 427, its crest flashing alarming shades of red and orange. "Dr. Chen." Zix's telepathic voice echoed urgently in Samantha's mind. "We have a situation at the Cosmic Zoo. You must come quickly." The Cosmic Zoo, a state-of-the-art facility built to house and study a variety of alien fauna, had been Samantha's pet project since the exchange program began. As she rushed out of her office, Max hot on her heels, she felt a knot of dread form in her stomach. Upon arriving at the zoo, Samantha was met with a scene of chaos. Alarms blared, and staff members of various species rushed about in panic. At the center of it all stood Director Kovacs, a stern Arcturian with iridescent scales and 4 arms, currently wringing all of them in distress. "Dr. Chen," Kovacs bellowed upon seeing her. "Thank the cosmic winds you're here. We have a Code Omega situation." Samantha's blood ran cold. Code Omega meant only one thing: a dangerous specimen had escaped containment. "What got out?" she asked, already dreading the answer. Kovacs's scales shifted to a deep, worried purple, the Novarian shadow beast. Samantha suppressed a groan. The shadow beast, a recent addition to the zoo, was a predator from a world of perpetual darkness. With the ability to blend seamlessly into shadows and a venomous bite that could paralyze creatures 10 times its size, it was one of the most dangerous beings in the facility. How did this happen? Samantha demanded as they rushed towards the central control room. "We're not sure," Kovacs replied. One moment it was in its enclosure, the next, gone. We've initiated lockdown procedures, but Dr. Chen, if that thing gets out into the general population. The implications didn't need to be stated. Earth was already considered a death world by galactic standards. The last thing they needed was to introduce an apex predator from another world into the ecosystem. As they entered the control room, Samantha was surprised to see a group of her students, both human and alien, huddled around a console. Dr. Chen called out Lisa Wang, one of her most promising human students. "We think we have an idea." Samantha raised an eyebrow. "I'm all ears." Lisa gestured to Glix, a gelatinous Medusan student whose body rippled with excitement. "Glix remembered something from your lecture on Earth's apex predators, about how some indigenous cultures use tracking animals to hunt." "Yes," Samantha nodded, beginning to see where this was going. Many Earth cultures have used dogs, in particular, for their keen sense of smell and tracking abilities. "Exactly," Lisa exclaimed. "We were thinking, what if we used Max to track the shadow beast?" Samantha looked down at her faithful golden retriever, who gazed back with eager eyes, tail wagging. It was a risky plan, but given the circumstances. "It could work," she admitted, "but we'd need something with a shadow beast scent, and we'd need to protect Max from its venom somehow." Zix 427 floated forward, its crest pulsing with a determined blue light. "I believe I can assist with both issues, Dr. Chen. My species has been working on an adaptive force field technology. With some modifications, we could create a protective barrier for Max that would still allow him to use his olfactory senses." Director Kovacs, who had been listening to the exchange with increasing hope, chimed in. "And we have the Shadow Beast's feeding bowl in quarantine. It should have a strong concentration of its scent." Samantha looked around the room, at the faces, and various alien approximations of faces, filled with hope and determination. This unlikely group of humans and extraterrestrials working together to solve a crisis. This was exactly what the exchange program had been about. "All right," she said, her voice filled with resolve. "Let's do this. Zix, get to work on that force field. Lissa, Blix, I want you to study the Shadow Beast's known behaviors and advise us on likely hiding spots. Director Kovacs, please retrieve that feeding bowl and have your security teams ready to move on our signal." As the group dispersed to their tasks, Samantha knelt down next to Max, scratching him behind the ears. "Well, boy," she murmured, "looks like it's up to us to save the day." Again. Max's tail wagged harder, and he gave her hand a reassuring lick. Somehow, his unwavering loyalty made Samantha feel that everything would be all right. An hour later, Operation Shadow Hunt was underway. Max, outfitted with Zix's shimmering force field, led a team consisting of Samantha, Kovacs, and 2 burly Arcturian security officers through the darkened corridors of the Cosmic Zoo. The facility, designed to accommodate creatures from a vast array of environments, was a labyrinth of specialized habitats. They moved from the sweltering heat of the Firelian lava lakes exhibit to the frigid expanse of the Boreal Nebula enclosure, Max's nose twitching constantly as he sought the elusive scent of their quarry. As they entered the abyssal caverns section, designed to mimic the lightless depths of gas giant moons, Samantha felt a chill run down her spine. This would be the perfect hunting ground for the Shadow Beast. Max suddenly tensed, a low growl rumbling in his throat. Samantha held up a hand, signaling the team to stop. In the pitch darkness, their headlamps cast long, shifting shadows on the rocky walls. Then Samantha saw it, or rather didn't see it, a patch of shadow that seemed darker than the rest, moving with deliberate, predatory grace. "There," she whispered urgently, pointing. The Arcturian officers raised their stun weapons, but in the blink of an eye, the shadow had vanished. A scream pierced the air. One of the officers was down, clutching his leg in agony. The shadow beast had struck with lightning speed, its venom already taking effect. Chaos erupted. Kovacs barked orders into his communicator, calling for medical support. The remaining officer fired his weapon wildly, the energy blasts illuminating the cavern in brief, blinding flashes. In the confusion, Samantha lost sight of Max. Her heart raced as she called out for him, fearing the worst. Then from deeper in the cavern, she heard it, a familiar bark, followed by the unmistakable sound of a scuffle. "This way!" Samantha yelled, charging forward with reckless determination. As she rounded a corner, the beam of her headlamp fell upon an astonishing sight. Max, his force field flickering with the strain, had the shadow beast pinned to the ground. The alien predator thrashed and snarled, its shadow-like form rippling as it tried to phase through Max's grasp, but the force field held it solidly in place. Samantha didn't hesitate. She rushed forward, a specialized containment device in hand. With practiced precision, she activated the device, enveloping both Max and the shadow beast in a field of pulsing energy. As the field stabilized, Max released his grip and trotted back to Samantha's side, tail wagging proudly. The shadow beast, now fully visible, paced angrily within its new energy prison. It was a sight to behold, a creature of living shadow, its form constantly shifting and roiling like dark smoke given life. As the backup teams arrived, securing the creature for transport back to its enclosure, Samantha knelt down and enveloped Max in a fierce hug. "You brilliant, brave boy," she murmured into his fur. "You've saved us all." In the aftermath of the crisis, as the injured were treated and the shadow beast was returned to a reinforced habitat, Samantha found herself in an impromptu meeting with Director Kovacs and a holographic projection of the Galactic Alliance Council. Dr. Chen, the Lumina Counselor's telepathic voice, resonated with a mix of awe and concern. "Your quick thinking and the remarkable abilities of your dog have averted a potential catastrophe. But this incident raises serious questions about the safety of maintaining such dangerous specimens on your world." Samantha took a deep breath, gathering her thoughts. "With all due respect, Counselor, I believe this incident demonstrates exactly why Earth is the perfect place for the cosmic zoo. Yes, we had a close call, but we also showed that we have the resources and adaptability to handle such crises." She gestured to Max, who sat attentively by her side. Earth's creatures, which many in the galaxy consider primitive or simple, proved to be the key to resolving this situation. Our deaf world has prepared us to expect the unexpected and adapt to any challenge. The counselors conferred among themselves, their holographic forms flickering as they deliberated. Finally, the Lumina spoke again. "Your argument has merit, Dr. Chen. We will allow the Cosmic Zoo to continue its operations under increased security protocols. Moreover, we would like to expand the exchange program to include more intensive study of Earth's fauna. It seems we have underestimated the potential of your world's biodiversity." As the meeting concluded and the holograms winked out, Director Kovacs turned to Samantha, his scales shimmering with a mix of relief and excitement. "It seems, Dr. Chen, that your Earth creatures have made quite an impression on the galactic community. What do you think this means for the future of our program?" Samantha smiled, reaching down to scratch Max behind the ears. "I think, to Director, that we're about to embark on an even greater adventure. The galaxy is finally beginning to see Earth not as a frightening death world, but as a reservoir of untapped potential. I'm going to show them just how remarkable life here can be." As if in agreement, Max let out a joyful bark, his tail wagging with enthusiasm for whatever new challenges awaited them in the vast, star-studded frontier of interstellar zoology. Interstellar Pet Show. In the wake of the Shadow Beast incident, Earth's standing in the galactic community had risen dramatically. Dr. Samantha Chen found herself flooded with requests from alien species eager to learn more about Earth's fauna. It was in this atmosphere of interstellar curiosity that she hatched an ambitious plan, the first ever galactic pet exhibition. "Are you sure about this, Dr. Chen?" Director Kovacs asked, his scales shifting nervously as they overlooked the newly constructed exhibition grounds. "Bringing together creatures from across the galaxy seems risky." Samantha smiled confidently. That's exactly why we need to do this, Director. Understanding leads to appreciation, and appreciation leads to conservation. Plus, she added with a wink, I think it's time we showed the galaxy that Earth pets are more than just potential crisis solvers. As the day of the exhibition dawned, spacecraft of all shapes and sizes descended upon the Ohio countryside. The fairgrounds buzzed with activity as beings from hundreds of worlds set up booths to showcase their companion creatures. Samantha made her way through the growing crowd, Max trotting faithfully by her side. They passed a Venusian ambassador crooning to a cage full of what looked like sentient clouds, and a group of Andromedons struggling to keep their telekinetic jellies from floating away. Dr. Chen, a familiar voice called out. Samantha turned to see Zix 427 approaching, its crest pulsing with excitement. This is remarkable. I've never seen such diversity in one place. Before Samantha could respond, a commotion erupted near the center of the fairgrounds. She rushed over to find a Rigelian trader in a heated argument with a human family. What seems to be the problem here? Samantha asked, stepping between the two parties. The Rigelian's tentacles waved in agitation. These humans claim their cat is a suitable companion creature. Clearly, they are mistaken. Just look at those claws, those teeth. It's obviously a vicious predator. The human father, holding a rather disgruntled-looking tabby cat, looked bewildered. Whiskers, vicious. She spends most of her day napping on the couch. Samantha suppressed a chuckle. I think I can clear this up. Sir, she addressed the Rigelian. While it's true that cats are descendants of predators, they've been domesticated by humans for thousands of years. They're gentle companions, excellent for pest control, and many find their purring to be quite soothing. To demonstrate, she gently scratched Whiskers under the chin. The cat's eyes closed in contentment, a loud purr rumbling from its throat. The Rigelian's eye stalks widened in surprise. Fascinating, it murmured. Perhaps I was too hasty in my judgment. As the situation diffused, Samantha noticed a crowd gathering around the Earth mammals section. Intrigued, she made her way over. A group of Arcturians stood in awe before a large enclosure. Inside, a golden retriever played fetch with its human owner, while a horse grazed peacefully nearby. Incredible, one Arcturian whispered. The sheer size of these creatures, yet they coexist so harmoniously with humans. Samantha stepped forward. That's right. Earth's history of animal domestication is long and varied. Dogs like Max here, she patted her faithful companion, have been our partners for tens of thousands of years. They help us hunt, herd other animals, and even assist in medical detection and therapy. She gestured to the horse, and horses have been instrumental in human transportation, warfare, and agriculture for millennia. Many humans form deep emotional bonds with these animals. The exhibition continued, with each Earth animal drawing amazement from the alien visitors. Parrots demonstrated their ability to mimic human speech, much to the shock of a group of Syrian linguists. A demonstration of border collies herding sheep left a contingent of Pleiadian military strategists in awe of the dog's intelligence and precision. As the day wore on, Samantha found herself at the judging panel for the Most Unique Companion category. Beings from across the galaxy presented their pets, each more bizarre than the last. There was a Betelgeusian fire salamander that could reshape itself like living lava, and an Andromedon quantum cat that existed in multiple states simultaneously. When it came time to announce the winner, however, the judges were unanimous. The prize went to an elderly human woman and her pet rock. I don't understand, the Betelgeusian ambassador sputtered. It doesn't do anything. The old woman smiled serenely. That's the point, dearie. Sometimes the best companion is one that just listens without judgment. Been talking to this rock for 40 years, and it's never once let me down. As laughter and applause rippled through the crowd, Samantha couldn't help but feel a surge of pride. Earth's animals, and Earth's people, had once again proven their ability to surprise and delight the galactic community. The exhibition was winding down when a breathless aide rushed up to Samantha. "Dr. Chen, urgent message from the Galactic Alliance Council. They say it's about a Death World safari." Samantha raised an eyebrow, intrigued. It seemed their cosmic adventures were far from over. With Max at her side and the stars stretched out above them, she set off to see what new challenges awaited in the vast expanse of the universe. The Death World Safari. Dr. Samantha Chen stared at the holographic projection of the Galactic Alliance Council, trying to process what she'd just heard. "I'm sorry, could you repeat that? You want to do what?" The Lumina counselor's telepathic voice resonated with a mix of excitement and trepidation. "A Death World Safari, Dr. Chen. The success of your pet exhibition has sparked unprecedented interest in Earth's fauna. We propose a controlled expedition to observe Earth's wildlife in their natural habitats." Samantha pinched the bridge of her nose, already envisioning the potential disasters. "Counselor, Earth's ecosystems are delicate, and many of our animals can be dangerous, even to us." "Precisely why we need your expertise," the counselor replied. "You'll lead the expedition, ensuring the safety of both the visitors and Earth's creatures." 2 weeks later, Samantha found herself standing at the edge of the Serengeti, surrounded by a group of eager alien tourists. Species from across the galaxy fidgeted with excitement, their protective suits gleaming in the African sun. "Remember," Samantha addressed the group, Max alert at her side, "we're here to observe, not interact. Follow my instructions at all times, and we'll all have a safe, enlightening experience." As they set out in their hovering safari vehicles, Samantha couldn't help but smile at the aliens' reactions. A herd of elephants drew gasps of awe, their size and intelligence impressing even the most seasoned space travelers. "Remarkable," murmured Zix 427, its crest pulsing with wonder. "And you say these gentle giants once faced extinction due to human actions?" Samantha nodded sullenly. "Yes, but they're protected now. It's a constant reminder of our responsibility to Earth's ecosystems." The safari continued, each new animal sighting causing a flurry of excitement. Giraffes elicited debates about evolutionary pathways, while a pride of lions sunning themselves on a rocky outcropping had the alien tourists buzzing with a mix of fear and fascination. As they approached a watering hole, a Rigelian scientist leaned out of the vehicle for a closer look. In a flash, a crocodile lunged from the water, snapping its massive jaws just inches from the alien's face. Samantha quickly pulled the shocked Rigelian back to safety. "And that," she said firmly, "is why we stay in the vehicle." The incident, rather than dampening spirits, only seemed to heighten the aliens' excitement. Earth's reputation as a death world was being reaffirmed with every moment, but now with a newfound respect for the beauty and complexity of its ecosystems. As the sun began to set, casting the savannah in a golden glow, Samantha led the group to their campsite. The alien tourists marveled at the concept of glamping, a perfect blend of Earth ruggedness and cosmic comfort. Around the campfire that night, under a canopy of stars, Samantha found herself feeling countless questions about Earth's wildlife. The aliens were particularly fascinated by the concept of symbiotic relationships in nature. "You mean," a crystalline Andromedean chimed, "these tiny birds clean the teeth of the large river beasts, and neither harms the other. Extraordinary." As Samantha was about to respond, Max suddenly tensed, a low growl rumbling in his throat. The chatter around the campfire died instantly. "Everyone, remain calm and quiet," Samantha whispered, her hand resting reassuringly on Max's back. "We have a visitor." From the darkness, a leopard emerged, its spotted coat gleaming in the firelight. The alien tourists froze, their various physiologies expressing a universal language of awe and fear. The big cat paused, surveying the strange gathering with curious eyes. For a breathless moment, two worlds regarded each other, the apex predator of the savannah and the interstellar travelers who suddenly felt very small in the face of Earth's wild beauty. Then, as silently as it had appeared, the leopard melted back into the night. A collective sigh of relief rippled through the group, followed quickly by excited chatter. Samantha smiled, realizing that this moment, this perfect encapsulation of Earth's dangerous beauty, had done more for interstellar understanding than 1,000 diplomatic meetings. As the night wore on and the aliens retired to their tents, still buzzing with excitement, Samantha sat alone by the dying embers of the fire, Max dozing at her feet. She gazed up at the star-studded sky, pondering the strange turns her life had taken. A soft ping from her communicator jolted her from her reverie. It was a message from the Galactic Alliance Council, marked urgent. Frowning, Samantha opened it, her eyes widening as she read its contents. "Oh boy, Max," she murmured, scratching her faithful companion behind the ears. "Looks like our next adventure is taking us off-world. The galaxy needs Earth's expertise in wildlife conservation, and we've just been volunteered." Max's tail thumped against the ground, ever ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. As the first light of dawn began to streak the African sky, Samantha Chen, Earth's ambassador to the stars, began to plan for their greatest adventure yet, guardians of the galaxy's biodiversity. Dr. Samantha Chen stood on the bridge of the Galactic Alliance cruiser, Earth a blue marble shrinking in the viewscreen behind her. Beside her, Max sat attentively, seemingly unfazed by their first interstellar journey. Nervous, Dr. Chen, the ship's captain, a towering Arcturian named Zalathax, asked. Samantha smiled, excited, actually. "I never imagined Earth's expertise in wildlife conservation would be needed on a galactic scale." Their destination was Novus Prime, a planet on the fringes of known space. Once teeming with unique life forms, it now faced an ecological crisis that threatened to wipe out millennia of evolution. Upon landing, Samantha was struck by the alien beauty of Novus Prime. Bioluminescent forests pulsed with ethereal light, while floating islands drifted lazily through the pink sky. "It's breathtaking," Samantha murmured. "And dying," added Krelox, the local scientist who greeted them. "Our keystone species, the lumino beetles, are disappearing. Without them, the entire ecosystem is collapsing." Over the next few days, Samantha and her team of Earth conservationists worked tirelessly. They set up observation posts, collected data, and brainstormed solutions. Max proved invaluable, his keen senses detecting subtle changes in the environment that even advanced alien technology missed. The breakthrough came when Samantha noticed something familiar about the lumino beetles' behavior. "They remind me of Earth's fireflies," she explained to the team. "The light patterns, they're not random, it's communication." Further investigation revealed that recent solar flares had altered the planet's magnetic field, disrupting the beetles' bioluminescent signals. Armed with this knowledge, the team devised a plan. Using modified Earth technology designed to guide sea turtle hatchlings, they created a network of artificial light sources that mimicked the beetles' patterns. Slowly but surely, the lumino beetle population began to recover. As news of their success spread, requests for Earth's help poured in from across the galaxy. Samantha found herself at the center of a new movement, a galactic conservation effort that combined the best of Earth's experience with advanced alien technology. Months later, back on Earth, Samantha stood before the United Nations, Max faithfully at her side. "Ladies and gentlemen," she addressed the assembly, "we stand at a crossroads. Once seen as a dangerous backwater, Earth is now recognized as a beacon of hope for biodiversity across the galaxy." She gestured to the alien ambassadors in attendance. "We've been invited to lead an interstellar conservation initiative. Our planet, once dubbed a deaf world, is now viewed as a living library of evolutionary success stories. It's time we share our knowledge and protect not just our world, but all worlds." The response was overwhelming. Earth's new role as guardians of galactic biodiversity was embraced with enthusiasm. New educational programs were launched, combining xenobiology with traditional conservation techniques. The Cosmic Zoo expanded into a research powerhouse, studying and preserving endangered species from across the stars. 1 year after their first off-world mission, Samantha found herself back on Novus Prime. The planet was transformed. Lumino beetles danced through the air in dazzling light displays, the forests pulsed with renewed vigor, and the local population celebrated their recovered world.